Good morning, everyone. This is Kay Francis, your host for It Is What It Is, or Is It? Well, today it's going to be all about love, our topic. And what are we really talking about when we talk? Everybody has a different opinion on what is love. We all have our own perceptions of what it is or what it should be like or what to expect. And there's just level after level. There's all types of love. There's not any one love. But let me say this to you. Love is important to your very being and being loving, okay? And that's what we're going to talk a little bit about. You heard me mention in past podcasts, speak about the book, The Road Less Traveled, and how Dr. Scott Peck, said that love is not a feeling. Isn't that interesting? What he tells us is that it's an action, that love is what love does. Now think for a minute what that's really saying. It's an action. It's not about a feeling. Yes, when we in that part of courtship or that, let's talk about courtships first. And when we're in that beginning of it, there's all kinds of crazy feelings. We even lose weight because we don't even have to eat. We're just so enthralled, or whatever you call it. And we're just happy. And, we just could stay up all night and be ready for work right on time. Why? Because we've got all of these things happening internally. The hormones are raging, everything is alive and just having a good time. Okay. Well, yeah, that's part of love. It's part of the first immediate attraction to people. But how about friendship love? How about love between parents and children? Well, just think of your interactions with your coworkers. Can you say you love them? There may be one there that's the pot stirrer and that you really don't especially care for. Can you love someone you don't care for? I'm telling you that you can. I'm not saying that you're going to love them in the way that you would with friends, but you're going to be loving. And there's a difference between loving someone and being loving towards everyone. What does it say? Love thy enemies. Doesn't mean you have to have a close relationship with them. It means that you can see them from a different perspective. That no matter how they act, no matter what kind of a poor attitude they may have, or whatever it is that disturbs you about them, or makes you want to back off, or makes you want to withdraw completely, probably is something that has happened in their lifetime, and they haven't become loving people out of whatever pain or whatever the case might be that happened to them. Think about Jesus. Just think about, he walked on this earth for 33 years. And what was he teaching? What was the essence of all the wonderful things he taught us? It was to love, to have the courage to love and come from that perspective of people. He didn't say you had to interact with them. He just said, within yourself, feel love. Feel and be a loving spirit and take it with you. That's a gift we all have. We have that inside of us. But the outside world often takes away, we get caught up in it, and it takes away that pure feeling. When you're in a relationship, part of loving someone is just being there for them. And that goes for friendships as well. And it certainly goes with parents and children. So love is all around. It's a choice that you make to not be loving and hang on to things that get in your way, or that is a block for you to get in touch with your loving self. Because loving self is something that you can give to everyone. It costs you nothing. Somebody says something mean or hateful, You don't have to get defensive. You don't have to get in a rage. You don't have to be revengeful. You can just experience them within yourself in a loving way. Now, this might sound like, oh, this is like, you know, this unrealistic way of looking at things. It's not unrealistic. It's coming from things with a more spiritual perspective of it, which is inside of you. And you want to come from that place. You can't imagine how much peace it will bring you, because all the other stuff never brings peace that way. It's a comfortable thing because you don't have to prove yourself to anyone. You don't have to be in competition. You just have to be you. And you just have to know that God made you. He created you. And He put you here for a purpose. But if you look at even His followers, they were not all pure by any means when they first started following. He came to teach us what love was like because He loves unconditionally. And that's a big thing to learn how to do. And I don't know that we're not a work in progress, that what we should be doing is thinking how close we can get to that. Because unconditional love is so pure. And it's not something that, it's a work in progress. Let's put it that way. And I don't know if we'll ever get to it. We're human, and I don't know that we ever obtain it. But the fact that you're walking towards it and you're thinking about, let me not look at that person and be jealous of them or envious or angry, or I'm going to get even. I don't like them and I'm going to let them know, or I'm going to snub them, or I'm going to do all these things. What power you're giving them. Have you ever seen someone and they're not particularly nice, but somehow you feel sad for them? What do you think that's why? What do you think's going on inside of you that you feel sad? Well, you feel sad because they're not happy. Can you be loving and not be happy, be miserable? It's doesn't go together too well, does it? So there's, again, what is love? It's many, many things. I know when I go through the homeless area on my way to work, I often look at some soul, some human being that has the same internal parts as I have. The blood is running through them. The heart is beating. Doesn't matter what nationality, what color, inside, it doesn't matter. But I think to myself, when I see something really sad, by the grace of God, there go I. You don't know. You haven't walked in their shoes. And a loving person will have those kind of thoughts. That's why gossip is really ugly, because it's not loving towards other people. You hear it around you. You have a choice. You don't have to get involved in it. You don't have to become one of the gossipers, because that's not loving. Other little things aren't loving. You're doing something, you're frustrated, it's not going the way you want, you're having a bad day, and all of a sudden, you're not feeling love at all. You're frustrated, you're ready to throw something, whatever the case. Now, that doesn't mean, as human beings, that we're walking around always just so happy with life. And so it doesn't mean that. We're going about our business as we should. I'm talking about a different sense within your own being. And that's what God gave us. And we can go with it, or we can choose not to. But if you want to feel peaceful and contentment, then start looking through that different lens and look at people differently, especially in relationships. I mean, it should be that way all the time, but especially in relationships. There's something to be said for sticking up for a friend, loving them enough maybe to even take the blame for something for them if it's appropriate. Think about love. It's an action. Love is what love does. So when you're ready to really examine yourself, how do you demonstrate love? I'm talking about something much deeper, something for you to really think about in your life. If you've had a struggle and things are painful, try to think about loving yourself and knowing you're loved by something so powerful, by someone who created you, who's loving you right now unconditionally, no matter what you're doing. And all he asks, the whole Bible's filled with love. That's what he asks for. It's just like we talk about intimacy. How faithful are you? How intimate are you in your faith? Think about it. Mostly when you talk about intimacy, people think of it in a sexual, way of thinking about it. And there's 8 different stages. Communication is a stage of intimacy. Open, honest communication. Loving communication is intimacy. Vulnerability, the ability to trust and be vulnerable, is on the way to loving. I could go on for hours about this subject, but I won't. So for today, I just want you to take a step back in your free time and just kind of ask yourself, how loving am I? It's not enough to take it for granted that people see that you love them. That person at the grocery store, you have no idea what they're going through right now. And maybe all you have to do is give them a smile, an honest smile. And the smile is genuine when it comes from love. Have you ever seen somebody put a fake smile on? I have. I certainly have. But when it's real, it's because it's coming from a loving place. And I can't stress enough how when you get to that place, and that's how you walk through your life and feel purposeful, and especially to fulfill the purpose you were put here for, that's when it's there and you're peaceful. You have joy even in the worst of times. So think about it. Love yourself, not in a selfish way, because you can't give what you don't possess. And if you can't feel love inside of yourself, how do you give it to anyone else? So ask yourself, do I feel that for myself so that I can give it to others? Thank you for listening today. It's been a pleasure to talk to you about this subject. And remember, always keep the faith, never give up hope, and know when to let go. Thank you so much. God bless.